Ugh. I should take care of things. Why am I doing this to myself? Gather round, fellow nerds. Let's discuss Aliens, Colonial Marines on the Xbox 360. Aliens, Colonial Marines. I really don't think I actually have to say anything else other than that, because the majority of us already know just how much of a pile of trash this game actually is. So why am I bothering to review it after the well documentation done of just how poorly it was made? Well, one, I figured it would be fun. Two, I'm an idiot. And three, actually I didn't really have another reason, that's pretty much it. So for the few of you who don't know anything about this game, here's a basic summary of what to expect. Don't play it. Don't even look at it. Don't even acknowledge its existence. The game is pure garbage, okay? And I mean it. It looks terrible. It doesn't exactly sound all that great for the most part, besides some well-placed musical scores and actual sound clips from the movies, which do sometimes actually add some tension to the game, which it desperately needs. The game isn't scary at all. And for an Aliens game, that's a huge crime.
Looks like he sent you over into this mess as well.
It's way too ridiculously easy, even on the hard and medium settings.
Permission to...
Shut up. You made the right call and you know it. And we're done talking.
And if any of you happen to know me and what I look for in terms of storytelling, it's excessively poorly written and adds one of the biggest plot holes I've ever seen in a fictional universe. I won't spoil what it is, but if you've already played this game, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna throw up.
Okay, but what's the actual story here? Taking place just a little bit after the third film in the franchise, Alien 3, a new group of Marines are dispatched to LV-426, because apparently the Sulaco from the second film just kind of suddenly reappeared, and they're all like, what's going on here? We gotta go rescue these Marines and whatnot. And then everything falls apart. Gloriously.
Sephora! We did it, guys!
Rhino team, move, move, move! Winner, move!
Right off the bat, you get to see just how awful the game looks, as even in the opening cutscene. For 2012, it looks terrible. Constant screen tearing, horrible looking character models, even in the pre-rendered cutscenes, and in the gameplay cutscenes, they're even worse. Environments on average look okay-ish, at least on the Xbox 360 version, and that's if you're lucky enough to actually get textures which are already there when the game loads. Most of the time you're facing horrible texture popping, or complete lack of textures, like on these holes that the aliens were supposed to crawl out of. There's just a black mark on the wall. There's nothing there.
Look up, look up!
Don't even get me started on the xenomorphs. Yeah, they look a little bit better than the human character models, but really not by much, especially when they get up close and you see just how little detail there actually is on the individual Xenos. And if you can't notice by this game footage, their AI is dead. There's nothing there. Nothing says menacing video game villain like walking up to you like this.
We're sweeping in from the right!
What about the AI for the Weyland-Yutani mercenaries that you fight for a little over half the game? Because fighting xenomorphs in an aliens game, we just can't have that. We gotta fight human mercs.
The last one is winner! We're on the service rail en route to the bridge! What's your situation in Cargo 1?
Winner, we're still fire. Looks stable. Bishop says the Sephora can't take much more before the reactor fractures and goes critical.
AI is a little bit better since they'll actually use cover and mild flanking tactics and different weapons in order to try and take you down. That's about it. It's smidge improved. The biggest problem with the gameplay is that fighting both villain types is stupidly boring. If you decide to actually fight them, since you can honestly run through most levels in under 5 minutes and complete it without ever actually firing a shot, your weapon loadout makes you seriously overpowered on any difficulty mode. Adding to your overpoweredness is the fact that you can actually customize your weapons, which I will admit is a pretty cool feature. The developers actually introduced some new weapons which weren't in the films, and they do feel like they pretty much were in the films. They feel like weapons that the Colonial Marines would have actually had to choose from in their inventory the whole time. Another cool aspect is that these weapon customizations do carry over into the game's multiplayer if you decide to play as a Marine. It's also cool that you're able to visit some of the iconic locations from Alien 1 and 2, such as the derelict ship, or even the wreckage of the former colony from the second film. It's not completely destroyed despite a huge megaton nuke going off, which is also a plot hole that really bugs me, but yeah, okay, whatever. I don't consider this game canon, even though it apparently is. No, this is like Last Jedi levels of poor writing, okay? It's so bad, it does not count. The last thing I'll say about the story, because it is that terrible, is that you really don't even care about the characters. The most basic fundamental of making you give a shit about a story and anything is making characters that you can care about, giving them good character traits that you recognize, or ones you kind of have to figure out. Nope, they don't do that. In order to drive home how poor the character development is, I literally just finished rewatching Angry Joe's Colonial Marines review to kind of refresh my mind on some of the points I may have missed while writing out the script for this. And in his review, he says some of the names of some of the characters. I finished watching that video 5 minutes ago. I already forgot all the names of the Marines in your squad. They're that bad. If I can't remember a single name of a single character, you know you've done fucked up.
Bella! Oh, come on. It's me. Oh my God. Bella! Is that the thing that was on your face when you woke up? Are you sure you're okay?
It was already dead, O'Neill. I'm fine. Alright, I pulled it off when I woke up, so nothing's gonna happen to me. It's just good to see some familiar faces.
I will give the developers props, however, for the level design. Yeah, it's still fairly linear, and even though, like I said, you can run through most of the levels in under 5 minutes without firing an actual shot, there are a few which do really stand out. One of them, which is easily the best level in the whole game, actually takes away all of your armament and armor, leaving you completely helpless as you're stuck in the sewer with these new types of Xenos. They're these husks that are just kind of hunched all over the place, and if you make one sound, they'll charge at you and explode, and you explode, and it's really cool. That's the only level like this, though. Yeah, there is another segment when this gargantuan thing chases after you, and he's like a rhino-type alien, and he'll kill you instantly, and you can't kill him. You have to hide in these grates. That's cool, too. But it's the only part that actually makes you feel like there's some slight tension here. It is a small glimmer of what this game could have become if the developers had honestly given a crap about anything. But they didn't, so these are the only moments where I actually have a little bit of fun, and then it quickly goes away. Controls in this game are also seriously messed up. Everything feels just way too slow or unresponsive, especially the gunplay. Now the menu loadouts aren't bad, and using a sort of weapon wheel to choose your loadout, being able to equip secondary or primary weapons in your secondary or primary slots is a cool idea. Unfortunately, actually switching between these weapons on the fly for some reason doesn't seem to work, even though I know I wanted to switch from my pulse rifle to the shotgun, but it wouldn't let me switch to the shotgun, even though I selected it. Now there are a few cool collectible pieces hidden throughout the game, like dog tags from some of the Marines from Aliens, or these cool legendary weapons like Gorman's pistol, or Vasquez's smart gun, or Frost's flamethrower that you can collect. And if you're a super hardcore Aliens fan, then yeah, you'll probably have a cool time hunting these down and using them. Problem is that they play exactly the same as all the other weapons with the same problems of poor controls. This led me to not care about collecting these things, and if I happen to find some, cool, you know, whatever. But
The FTL and we'll see you there.
This is 6-5. Missiles armed. Throw away!
I did bring up the game's multiplayer mode and how you can choose to play as a Marine. The other option you can do is to play as a Xeno. And again, there is some mild Xeno customization, like choosing a standard soldier, a lurker, one of the runner types from Alien 3, or one of the big ol' honking like Sentinel types, the ones that guard the hive. It is pretty cool being able to choose different types, and each one has sort of different abilities. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any multiplayer footage for this review because these servers are dead. They are dead. There is nobody playing this. I waited around for upwards of half an hour sometimes, desperately trying to get a match going so I could show you guys some of the footage here. Nothing. And I know that the servers aren't shut down yet, it's just nobody wants to play it. That should tell you something about this game's level of quality. The saddest part is that the multiplayer was actually better than the rest of the game. Yeah. Alright, I know this was a much shorter review than the recent ones I've been doing, but there's just really nothing else to talk about here. Yeah, there are a few small glimmers of genuine creativity and fun to be had in this title, but it's overwhelmingly a waste of time and just bleh. That's the word I'm going to use to describe Aliens Colonial Marines. Just bleh. My final score for Aliens Colonial Marines is a devastatingly low 2.7 out of 10. I hate it.